Hey, what's going on? It's Craig Bennett, aka Cash Cake, here with DFSArmy. And I'm here with my good buddy Taco, the NASCAR guru. What's going on, Taco?
What's up, Kay? Ready to start another fun season in NASCAR.
It's fantastic, man. I'm pumped for it. Like we're talking a little bit earlier. We got the Clash tomorrow, Daytona, but road course? What the hell's that about, man?
Yeah, I know. Just another one of the weird things they're doing this year to spice it up a little. We saw this road course debut kind of randomly the end of last year as one of the, they couldn't go out west for a lot of the COVID spots, so they had to make up some random races. And this was one of them. Opened up the road course for the first time ever in NASCAR and ran a race there. Actually ended up going pretty well, I guess. But yeah, it's all we got really to look off of for this upcoming race here, and then the second race of the year after Daytona, we'll be going right back to this road course. It's one of the additional road courses they're adding to the schedule.
And this year, are they going to? I know last year, without the practice, are they going to practice this year, or are we having no practice this year?
So we have practice at Daytona this week, and that'll be the only real time we have practice all year long. Other than that, we're told no practice for the rest of the year, pretty much.
Wow. So it's going to be similar to last year with no practice. How do you think that affects, predicting what's going to go on with no practice times? Because I know how valuable that is. Is it more difficult, easier?
Oftentimes people would, especially on certain tracks, like flock to the guys who are fast in practice. So it's not too big of a difference.
Gotcha.
The salaries, I guess, with knowing qualification ahead of time, that's a big thing. Pricing, we saw a drastic shift last year from pricing being more focused on where people qualified from, kind of created some tighter pricing and less like super obvious place differential plays.
Well, I guess that's a good and a bad thing, depending how you look at it. Probably more of an advantage for us that you can dig in and find those things for us where the public just might land on certain plays. But yeah, man. First thing I want to talk about, though, is pricing, man. Like this year, we got this new pricing structure where we got weekly $10, monthly 30, or you can get the yearly for 300. I think that's awesome because it's just it opens up for people who want to give this a shot. And I will say, man, like between you and the NASCAR team and the crap you guys do, it's by far the most profitable, if you want to call it, fringe sport that we have. I mean, all year long, it's amazing what you get when it comes across, all the trucks and Xfinity and Cup and all that stuff. It's an amazing amount of information. And this research station itself, man, like, I mean, this is like the Bible. Like, I don't know how you do anything without it. So we got it pulled up right now. You kind of want to go over a little bit, Taco, and explain what we're looking at?
Yeah, so this is a little smaller version than you may see just week to week, just because we don't have any real historical stuff here at this course. We've got the one race from last year, and we've got the results of all that kind of broken down in a section, the 2020 Daytona road course race stats section there. But you got all the basics. You've got, the salaries for both sides, car number if you want to find down the track, the team they're on, the type of car they're at the Daytona Oval. It might be more important to me. I want to stack certain manufacturers that kind of draft together. Then
gotcha.
The odds usually will have top 3 and top 10 odds and implied percentages from there, but we go off of DraftKings Sportsbook. They only had landed top 3 for this race. I got our projections, ownership projections, of course, for all the races, and then after this we usually have like a track history section. At the road courses, tend to break it down into 2 sections here. Recent road course finishes. I mean, that's going to be a lot more important here than the Daytona history. That this is kind of added to give a little perspective on who just generally does here. We saw a little bit of that crossover at Daytona, guys like Chris Buescher, but just something to look at for this week. Usually it'll just be the history at a given track. As you go on over here, of course, those were the actual results from last year, the fantasy points they scored, and some stats we've got from our lap by lap breakdown, you can see if you go down to the 2020 Daytona road course lap by lap tab. Now here you can see where everybody was each lap of the race. So that can be really helpful. You can see Kyle Busch started off amazingly here last year, started fourth, ended up getting to the lead, took him only 2 laps, and then from there on out, he had trouble all race long. So that might make him a little sneaky kind of play. But yeah, you can see the complete breakdown there, what percentage of laps they ran in certain spots, like top 30, top 20, etc., their average position by stage and whatnot. So definitely a cool thing that we get to look into that most other sites do not have available.
No, that's awesome.
I love this tool a lot. You can use it for a lot of different research. Great with finding just people who did really well, but their finishes and their stats may not be exactly telling of that. Great for just finding the sneaky plays, you know?
Yeah, big time. Love this, man.
Yeah, and if you go back to the main DraftKings sheet, you can see finish it off with percentage of laps finished using the last 12 road course races. Shows you who generally keeps it clean. Guys like Bowman, guys like Denny Hamlin, and people who have had a lot of problems. Usually going to see Ricky Stenhouse Jr. with a lot of red. And that's definitely it gives you more of a sense of who's safer, who keeps it together.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and then the results, you can see how often they get top 5, top 10, top 15%. And of course how many wins they've got, and then just the sample size too. You know, like that's from the last 2 years, how many races they actually ran. Because some of the guys just don't have a large sample size, and that's important to note. And
well, do they still have like the road course ringers that they'll bring up? Is that still a thing this year? You know, like certain guys that might come up from just never race at all.
Absolutely. Although a few of them, like Boris said, have recently retired, but
right.
We don't have that here. Here they had a new qualification system for this class. They made it used to be anyone that won a pole or won a race qualifies. They made the field a little bigger this year by making it so everyone who won a stage or won a pole, or I guess not a pole, but you know, with them not having qualifying almost all last year, they made it so anybody who won a stage or won a race was invited here. So that's what cut the field down to about half.
Okay.
A lot of things have changed in the sport over the last year. That is for sure.
Yeah, man. COVID's kind of just screwed everything up. And I know you guys have been all over it, figuring it out. And it was a hell of a year last year. Going through all the wins that we had last year it was phenomenal, man. But how did they do this year when it came to starting, you know, the starting grid? I know you said they just a complete random draw, or?
Well, it was a random draw for a good amount, and then they made it so like the top 12 finishers and the next like chunks of 12 would get randomly selected based on the previous weeks. And then they had an algorithm that they introduced with about 2 or 3 months left to go in the season. So we're able to know the qualifying order pretty much after each race. I'm not sure if that's been reverse engineered or not, but I don't know. We've always been able to know the qualification pretty fast. And honestly, DraftKings is just super fast with getting that up there now.
Yeah. I mean, this is what 35 laps for this road course. Usually the clash and the duels are pretty quick.
Yep.
Okay.
35 laps here. Yeah, a real short race. Clash usually just an exhibition race. These cars won't be used in Daytona, so it doesn't really have anything to do with it. Just a good exhibition race to start the speed week off. So, you know, it usually is quite a wreck fest, honestly. But with it being on a road course, it's going to be a bit different. Still a lot of place differential in play with very few laps, but there is a slightly new scoring system.
Let's talk about that.
Effect here. Yeah, so they made it so you get an extra point if you make the top 30, an extra point if you make the top 20, an extra point if you make the top 10.
Okay.
They did what I had been kind of thinking that they might do for a long time, because they always had the scoring system based off a 43 car field.
Right.
And they've adjusted it to a 40 car field, because that's, you know, they haven't had a 43 car field like 4 years now.
Right.
I guess to break ties, they did a real nice thing where it used to be lead laps were 0.25 fantasy points on DraftKings and fast laps were 0.5. That would cause a lot of unnecessary ties. They made fast laps 0.45, so they're worth slightly less. So
Okay.
that's the main difference here. Nothing huge like the original overhaul with like the in race passes counting for points and all that nonsense it started with, but it's just a slight change, which will probably the changes will probably be marginal, but it'll give a little bump to the guys who tend to finish just inside the top 20 or just inside the top 30. And give them a little bit more of a bump when it comes to finishing position. And it actually hurts the guys at the very back. Usually the guys finishing around last, they'll have like a little floor at least to work with. So always get like 3 or 4 points. Right. Not really guaranteed 1 point.
Okay.
Last.
So it's going to hurt them guys that, sometimes you get one of those scrubs that comes in and he sneaks into that optimal lineup, but that might not be the case this year. That's interesting. What are you thinking too? There could be less ties at the top in some of these large field GPPs.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah, I hope we see a lot more of it like that, because when the chalk goes off and you split it with, a couple thousand of your favorite friends, which it's still nice to win, but man, it's nice to when you can solo hit something like this. But yeah, this should be interesting. Yeah, like you were talking about earlier, with these exhibitions and how, they have really nothing to lose. It's an exhibition. Let's go for it. But on the road course, you can only push so hard in a road course, right? Like it's really hard to have complete carnage like you would maybe on Daytona. Like a full overlap style. So what are you going to be like, like just looking at like Truex's starting position at 18th and 35 laps, is he going to have a shot to move up pretty fast and place well?
Yeah, I think so. Never had a race like this at all. Usually this race, the guys in the back would be, supreme targets. They still are with the very low number of laps. Place differential is still where you're going to get a lot of your scoring from. And right. Guys in the front. If it was Chase starting on the pole, then he would probably be able to be, clearly the top guy just through dominator points. You'd expect him to lead most of all of this race, but you kind of expect the race to go. Blaney starts the race, and then either Bowman or Hamlin takes the lead from him eventually, and then of course Chase works his way up from 7th because Chase, coming into the week, if everyone had to draft before qualifying, Chase would just be the chalk of all chalk. He's still going to be very, very chalky as he's of course won the last 4 freaking road course races and won this race last year,
right? Very
easily.
Yeah, just looking at that 1-1-1, he's.
Yeah,
talking on
starting back in 7th, still be popular, but probably won't be as popular as Truex starting all the way in the back. And I think this is where a lot of your hardcore NASCAR fans will be playing. A lot of the public won't come into like the 500, but
right,
this is going to be a pretty strong field of DFS players. Your NASCAR DJs that have been psyched and ready for this for a while. Guys like us, and we know when they're just a low number of laps on DraftKings, you've got to just go place differential. There's almost nothing else you can really go off of. And someone like Truex is going to be able to work his way up. He's just better than the guys ahead of him. And you can see from the odds, he's the only person in Elliott's ballpark. Before Elliott just started going nuclear at these tracks, it was Truex who was the top guy pretty much every single week.
But
every single road course race.
Thinking about, can you even fit 2 of those guys into a lineup? If you tried to start with Truex and I guess I could come over here and try it.
I've taken the top 3 guys in a lineup together and made a lineup off that very easily. That was before the pricing came or the starting positions came out. But even still, the guys at the very bottom. You can play Dylan, you can play Stenhouse, you can play the other Dylan. And that's actually someone I kind of wanted to talk about. I don't know if we're going to go through the field here or what, but a few guys in new cars, equipment. And that would be Eric Jones, who took over Bubba Wallace's 43 car, the King Richard Petty's Petty Motorsports 43.
That'll be weird seeing him in that.
Yeah, you see he's got a lot of like top tens recently in road course races, but that was in JGR equipment, the best
Okay.
of the best. And those have been the guys up there in the top 5. Here at this track last year, we saw those JGRs were really, really good, especially early. But he's definitely taken a huge step back in the quality of his equipment. And all the way at the bottom, Ty Dillon in the new 23X1 team.
What's this?
XI.
Yeah. Oh, this is the Jordan.
I to 1. This is Michael Jordan, Dennis Hamlin team. Yes.
Yeah, the Jordan team. Yeah, when he said that, I was like, yeah, he did grab a team, didn't he? That's cool.
Yeah, they'll have an affiliation with JGR, so they're kind of taking over what Christopher Bell's car from last year was, what the old Matthew B. DiMedetto car.
Oh, so it should be pretty decent then, right? I mean, that'll be interesting.
And then you've got a bit of a number switch. Alex Bowman taking over the 48 for Jimmy Johnson, but that's going to basically be the exact same team as the 88 that he's been driving with in previous years. Their equipment's about the same anyway. So
no big changes.
That 48 team will pretty much be shifting over to the 5 team, the new Kyle Larson team, as he gets back from his naughty vacation last year.
Yeah. So do we expect him to race this year?
Yeah, he'll be racing full time.
Okay.
And he's got his tracks he'll be good at. He's pretty much almost guaranteed to win the dirt race at Bristol. As he was having his year off, he won over 40 dirt races in his spare time.
Wow.
But didn't qualify for obvious reasons here.
Sure. Yeah, I didn't think we'd see him here, but I didn't really dig into him or look at him too much. But man, that Ty Dillon team, that's going to be fun. Like I said, I remember reading about that, how they were going to start, Jordan and crew was going to get a team together. But
and I saw in their blueprints of their office, they had 4 garage spots. So it could be a full team endeavor.
Wow.
Maybe sometime after Hamlin retires or switches over to them. We'll see.
That'll be interesting. So yeah, that'll be fun, man. So how do you see lineup construction going, I guess, on DraftKings? Like you said, I think there's going to be a lot of hardcore DFS guys playing this, and then we'll get way more casuals when it comes to Sunday. I mean, are you seeing just people stacking those top 2 guys or top 3 guys and then throwing guys like Dillon and them in? Is that how you feel like a lot of people are going to go?
Yeah, pretty much scrubs and duds. You'll be able to leave a lot of salary on the table, but with Elliott and Hamlin being guys that you really want to target in the first place, and then the trio of guys starting way in the back with Truex, Harvick, and Busch, I think people use a lot more of their salary than I would have anticipated.
Right.
Because even then you've got Blaney, who's on the pole, and she at least gets some starting or some lead laps or whatever. Although it's a really bad play, honestly. The middle zone will kind of be a dead zone. You might maybe play Kurt Busch from there, starting way back in 15th, who always generally does pretty darn good. And then Eric Jones, who knows with him, probably going to be the lowest owned, him or Cole Custer. At the bottom, basically guys that start at the very back. Almirola, who's always pretty good at Daytona and at least all right enough at road courses to not be worst in the entire field.
Right.
Popular for obvious reasons. Stenhouse.
You know what you get when you play him.
Yeah, he's Stenhouse, but he's always okay-ish. He doesn't really have the accidents that you'd normally see with him at road courses, and then at Daytona and Talladega, he's absolutely excellent at those tracks. Is by far his best track type, and this isn't completely a road course. Good amount of the track is still Daytona. You did see some Daytona kind of ringers.
Okay.
At least decently there. And then Austin Dillon, going to be the guy that people punt to, although he's not he's always known to be very bad at road courses, that's for sure. But just given his price and where he's starting, he's going to be popular. Just not as popular as the other guys I've talked about.
Gotcha. So, yeah, I mean, small field, you're going to have a lot of lineups with, the same lineups. But, I mean, it's freaking NASCAR, man. It's back. It's just I'm pumped, especially for Sunday, man. It just doesn't get any better, like you've stated in the past, man. I mean, what sport opens up with their damn Super Bowl? I mean, if you haven't watched any damn NASCAR,
this is the only one.
It's just, it's like, if you're not into NASCAR, if you haven't watched NASCAR, you got it. It's like, it's by far one of the best races out there, and it's so much fun. And you're just waiting for the big one, and then all the guys to come up. But yeah, man, it should be a lot of fun.
After Super Bowl, it was quite disappointing.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, that was not how I expected that to game, or a lot of other people expected that to go. But good on Tom Brady and his 7th damn Super Bowl win. How does FanDuel score on something like this, though?
Okay, so how FanDuel works, they haven't changed anything this year.
Okay.
You got 5 spots instead of 6. So
Gotcha.
they're basically forcing you to only pick 2 of the top guys, and then three guys basically like Logano and lower. So they've got, it's a little bit more about picking the guys who finish 1st through 5th on FanDuel.
Right.
They get 0.1 fantasy points per laps finished. I think I need to adjust the laps down from 65 to 35 from last year, but yeah, the scores will pretty much be even across the board. If you mess up at all, you're out of the optimal, even if you've led every lap up to this point, especially with the low number of laps.
Right.
But the place differential scoring is worth half as much on FanDuel as it is on DraftKings. It's the half point per position gained. So that's also part of what makes it about just picking the guys who finish up in front. But it'll still be a good amount about place differential here, with just the field being so small, and not many lead laps to go around. Fast laps aren't worth anything on FanDuel, and lead laps are just worth 0.1. So dominator points not really a factor at all. So again, it's just about finishing position and place differential. A bit more about picking the guys finish in the front. So if Blaney finishes first on FanDuel, you'll probably still want him, as where he could finish first and not even be optimal on DraftKings with him starting first. It's kind of the difference there.
Gotcha.
And they've got a lot more guys with the exact same salary. So it feels a little clunkier making lineups on there, as where DraftKings has always made every single driver a different salary, no matter what. That's kind of their thing.
Yeah, I mean, like you're just talking about here, Alamaro, still Stenhouse, and Dillon all 7,500. I mean, shoot, there's freaking 6 of them.
Giant.
Newman, yeah, it's just, so yeah, it's like you definitely are not looking for the guys at the bottom too much here if they're not going to finish towards the top, and it's definitely a different ball game, but definitely winnable. You get a lot more, seems to be a lot more ties for sure on FanDuel than on DraftKings.
Oh, there are, yes.
So just
way less contests I've seen.
Yeah.
DraftKings has some pretty decent contests. FanDuel, you almost kind of want to get in them now because they're not huge and they're filling up pretty quick.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's DraftKings will always be the superior product on it, but there's still money to be made. You just have to adjust your style and just know that Taco's got all the projections and this research station fits that as well. So if you're just a strictly FanDuel player, this information is there for you, and it's good. So yeah, man, I'm pumped for it. We got so Clash on Tuesday, and then we got the 2 duels coming up. Are they Wednesday, Thursday?
Yeah, that's on Thursday.
On Thursday, both
right after the other.
Okay, so we got
like
duel
Thursday
1 and duel 2.
We've got the truck race the following night on Friday night.
On Friday,
Xfinity race on Saturday. I think at like 5 p.m. And then the Daytona 500s on Valentine's Day.
There you go, man.
2:30 p.m. So
there you go.
Can't get you out of Valentine's dinner. You're gonna go have fun with that, but nice little way to spend Valentine's Day before going out to your fancy dinner, or I don't know.
That's right.
Something fancy in, I guess.
Sign up, win a little bit of money, and pay for that dinner, man, because
absolutely,
it always breaks the wallet, for us guys. But hey, it is what it is.
Daytona 500 is one of the best places to make that money, as the public usually doesn't realize that you got to play it backwards.
They still don't recognize it, but it's a lot of fun. It's the best one. So yeah, if you want your NASCAR fill, this is the week with all these races that we're going to get all the way through it. It's a lot of fun. Got everything here. You got anything else you want to talk about, Taco, on this road course?
Yeah, it's just remember that they're going to be going balls to the walls. It's probably going to be about finding random lower owned guy that just so happens to make it. Looking kind of at, I guess, maybe Ty Dillon, maybe a Chris Buescher, who always does pretty well, came 5th at the Daytona road course last year. Look, guys like that are the ones I'm keeping my eye on. It's going to be hard for one of the super low-owned guys starting up in the top 10, guys like Cole Custer starting 8th or Tyler Reddick starting 6th. As much as I like those guys, it's almost impossible that they outvalue people. But
right,
this is a week where I'm going to, on the domination station, I'm not going to look at it by salary. I'm going to sort it by fantasy points overall, since salary doesn't really matter all too much. My ownership's going to just go to whoever's got the highest fantasy point production. Not really worried about value as much, as that's going to be super easy to come by, especially with, guys like Austin Dillon, guys like Stenhouse and Almirola that you can go to and pretty much play them, interchange them as much as you need to. Fading them might be a little cute just because they have such gigantic floors, but
right.
I don't know, just about finding the guys that are gonna make a difference for you. Looking at DiBenedetto, looking at Buescher, looking at Ty Dillon. That's probably it. Maybe a Logana or something weird like that. That mid range of low owned guys. One of them's gonna end up just overperforming.
Right.
I was really looking at Byron and Bowman. So I think that Hendrick's done really awesome lately, especially Byron. He's been so good at anything that's to do with Daytona recently, but just qualified a bit too high. It's gonna be super hard for them to do anything. It's kind of a shame.
Yeah, it is. I mean, being right there, he said he's probably not gonna have a lot of ownership with everybody going stars and scrubs, but hey, you got to get a little unique to win something like this. So anything can happen. Like you said, they're going to go balls to the wall. It's not like it's just more an exhibition. So should be a lot of fun, man. Really pumped to get there. And again, I'm going to go back and pricing, man. If you just want to try us out for a week, $10 for a month, 30 or the year, 300, man. So if you're tired of what you've had out there and you want something different, you want something better, this is the time to get in. Sign up.
They play NASCAR, to buy all the other sports that you're not going to play. A lot of people only play NASCAR. It's the way to go.
Yep. So offer that in this year, and just want to let you guys know. Get in here and sign up, man. Be part of the team. Be part of that wall next year when we put it up and all those wins, because we're going to have some big ones, man. We're going to have a 6-figure this year, Taco. I think it's going to be you. You're due.
Yeah, hopefully. I got a good handful of tickets to that big Daytona 500 one, maybe.
Yeah, man. Those are always fun. So I always feel like lotto tickets in that one. But hey, you only need one. That's it, in that thing. So
Dow's going to carry me again. Daytona 500 in a row. I believe.
That's right. That's right. So you got anything else for us, Taco?
Not much. Just keep it posted. The Thursday night duels will be fun. The contests usually aren't that great for it, but with it just kind of aligned, that this week being right after the Super Bowl, DraftKings definitely looking for some more stuff to do. So, that you got to get in early, but we always end up outperforming and filling these giant contests they're putting out for us, and they've never been bigger. So,
yeah,
that'll be a fun week, especially the second duel. Not everyone focused on the first duel, second duel. Even just looking at that one might be really, really sneaky way to go about it, but we'll have you covered. We'll have everything up as soon as possible.
That's right, man. Taco will have you covered. He'll have you winning money, and they'll definitely pay for this tenfold, man. It's a lot of fun. Come over and join us. Looking forward to it. Thanks for your time, Taco, and let's win some money, man. Appreciate you. I'm out.
Let's do it.